The two Prime Ministers reviewed the roadmap outlining the 2030 priorities between India and the UK in areas like trade, economy, people-to-people ties, health, defence and security. Prime Minister had a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Johnson in the margins of the COP26 summit. It was a short meeting given the preoccupations of both the leaders, but nonetheless was comprehensive enough to cover a number of areas of interest. Prime Minister congratulated Prime Minister Boris Johnson for hosting a successful start of the COP26 summit despite pandemic restrictions. He also complimented Prime Minister Johnson for his personal leadership in championing global action for climate change mitigation and adaptation. He in fact mentioned to him that it has been 3 years that the Prime Minister himself has noticed Prime Minister Johnson invest himself personally on the issue of climate change and preparing for COP26. The Prime Minister reiterated India's commitment to closely work with the UK on climate finance, technology, innovations and adaptation, including green hydrogen, renewables, clean technology, and joint initiatives under the International Solar Alliance and the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Both these international organizations have a very prominent UK involvement. The two Prime Ministers reviewed the roadmap outlining the 2030 priorities between India and the UK in areas like trade, economy, people-to-people ties, health, defence and security. There was a discussion on regional and global issues including Afghanistan, counter-terrorism, Indo-Pacific, supply chain resilience and post-COVID global economic recovery. The Prime Minister reiterated his invitation to Prime Minister Johnson to visit India at an early opportunity. At the COP26 event, the Prime Minister attended a side event which is called Action and Solidarity, the Critical Decade. This was hosted by the UK Presidency of COP26. In his remarks, the Prime Minister spoke about the criticality of climate adaptation in development policy, the importance of traditional practices, and the need for global support for adaptation. If you allow, I'll just briefly recapitulate the main points that were made by the Prime Minister. He refers to it as the Panch Amrit. And so here we're talking about by 2030, India's non-fossil energy capacity would be increased to 500 gigawatts. As you're aware, in Paris, there was talk of 175 gigawatts. Subsequently, we had unilaterally committed ourselves to creating 450 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030. The Prime Minister spoke at the summit of 500 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2030. By all means, this is a very, very significant contribution, as I said, to the overall area of climate change and in meeting the goals of the summit. Very significantly, considering that India comprises 1/6 of humanity. You would be aware also that in Paris, our nationally determined contributions said that 40% of our installed electricity capacity would come from non-fossil fuel-based energy sources. The Prime Minister announced that today, he announced that by 2030, in fact, 50% would be met from renewable energy sources. So that's a significant announcement again.